Hello, and welcome to the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast, hosted by Miguel Machado, CEO and co-founder of OG.ai and KeenFolks, an AI marketing transformation agency. In each episode, we dive into the key challenges and opportunities in marketing, content, and customer experience, exploring how AI integration can drive impactful business results. Hear from top marketing leaders as they share how global brands leverage AI and data to elevate their marketing strategies and customer connections. If you're eager to innovate and stay ahead of industry trends, subscribe and join the AI marketing transformation community.
Welcome to the fourth episode of the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast. Today, we have an extraordinary guest who embodies the very essence of innovation, leadership, and impact, Helen Yu. Helen is the founder and CEO of TiGen Advisory Corp, a growth accelerator, helping companies leverage AI, cybersecurity, Internet of Things, and more to multiply their growth opportunities. With a strong experience on tech industry, Helen is a certified cybersecurity expert, a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, and the host of the CXO Spice podcast. She's not just a tech leader. She's a top 50 woman in tech, board advisor of KeenFolks and communication engineering companies, and a global thought leader in artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, and digital transformation. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you, Miguel, for the warm introduction. It's glad to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you as well, as always, Helen. Okay, so we all know that actually the data is the backbone of a well-mapped customer journey and the road to AI. Data is really on the ways of everything. Yet, only 16% of companies actually effectively leverage data and real-time customer personalization. This according to Gartner. So, Helen, how customer experience officers and CMOs should strategically harness analytics to design impactful, customer-centric experiences?
That's a great opening question, Miguel. As you know, data is the currency of the new era. So hence the importance of adopting a data-driven approach that aligns with business goals and customer needs. As CXOs, we can use analytics to segment customers based on their behavior, their preferences, and needs. Right. Then you can personalize experiences across channels. For example, what they do on a website or social media or customer feedback. Think about how Spotify suggests playlists based on your listening habits. The key is to balancing these personalization with privacy. You need to ensure data is collected responsibly and securely. To your question about balancing personalization with privacy, CXO should really ensure compliance with regulations like GDPR, CCPA. They need to be transparent with consumers about what data is being collected, how it's being used, and minimize the data collection to only benefits to personalizing the experience with their customers. I would say anonymizing or encrypting customer data along with clear consent processes will help maintain trust while delivering valuable experiences. For example, some of the e-commerce, right, they collect the data to offer tailored recommendation, but also respect customer privacy with clear consent. You can also opt out. Those are really preferred customers I would work with or brands I would work with.
Yeah, like Spotify is a great example in many things. Now, if you wonder how Spotify AI works, they actually use this machine learning and audio analysis to analyze user behavior such as listening tools, habits, and song attributes to create actually these tailored lists like Discovery Weekly. So by continuously actually learning from user interactions, Spotify delivers these highly relevant real-time music recommendations. On the other side, this is in the side that we know that it's being developed by so many companies. But on another side, hyper-personalization actually raises concerns to consumer. 62% of consumers feel uncomfortable with brands collecting their personal data without clear consent. So how do you balance this formula? The personalization customers love with the growing concerns around data privacy?
That's a concern top of mind for everybody. When you say 60%, I thought it would be 100% people would be concerned, right? AI
Yes.
has certainly changed the way brand interacts with customers. It enables as you said, hyper-personalization, delivers more predictive insights. But, because AI-driven algorithm can analyze vast amount of customer data and then to understand our preferences, anticipate our needs, and create tailored experiences. A standout example is e-commerce recommendation engine, right? For example,
Yes.
if I'm going on a website trying to find a camera, suddenly it will pop up other, like bicycle, maybe e-bike, ads to me, knowing that because I was browsing through that maybe a while ago, but did not make the purchase. It's very interesting, right? Because maybe I end up buying an e-bike versus a camera, even though I was surving online. So, that's another great example is Netflix, right? For all of you who watch the show, oftentimes you're not sure, hey, what I'm going to watch tonight. And then it actually recommends based on your previous viewing history and tell you based on your preference, here are 4 more things you might be interested in checking out. So that kind of interesting personalization really matters, right? To me, it's really convenient, rather than for me to look through 50 different movies on the menu and it brings up the 4 to 5 that's more relevant based on my past viewing history. To me, I wouldn't mind having that kind of experience or convenience by providing a little bit more insights, or allowing the company to collect information based on my personal preferences.
Yeah. And so as well that younger generations are more open to actually have this kind of personalization. The question for them is how meaningful is this personalization? If the trade-off is fair enough. And I think on that side, the companies need to continue to build on that.
Absolutely.
So speaking of tech, like Amazon recommendation engine, AI is revolutionizing actually the brand customer interactions. And you mentioned it a couple of examples. Can you share how AI is actually making a real difference for the consumer?
Well, it makes quite a bit of difference personally, right? I use AI for different things. For example, the other day I wrote a piece of blog for a customer, and they provided an image for me to use on the social media channel, and the size of the image did not really work, right? Because the size was too large for, LinkedIn, for example. And then, it was midnight, too late, but this was due to be published 8 a.m. the following morning. There's no way I can find someone from the client during between midnight and 8 a.m. So I went online, I went to, AI platform. I said, can you convert this image into a usable format for, by LinkedIn? In a few seconds, it returned the right size of the image. I didn't have to bother to ask for that from the client, right? So it worked. Everything went really, really well. Those are a simple example, but then as a business owner, small business owner, sometimes you have to run your financials, right? I use Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, honestly, to run my forecasts, right? I plug into the revenue projection. I run that, and then it gives me the revenue trends. So you can actually use AI to do so many things. It's not just about marketing. It's not about the image creation. There's so many things you can do. And for example, email organization, right? We all have. Sometimes we're on the road. There are so many emails. You're not sure which one you're going to review first. You can have AI help you organize your inbox to say, send me the ones I should really look into first. There are just many things you can do, in terms of getting your day more organized, and then, have AI help you analyze some of the data that you have. But you still need to understand what the data really, the kind of the nature of the data. Otherwise, you won't be able to leverage that responsibly. Not everything sometimes AI returns to you is accurate. So you have to make sure you use that responsibly. You have to make sure that you don't just violate the copyright of other people. And then when you put in the data, you have to make sure you understand if it's confidential data, you never put it in there without other people's consent, right?
Yeah.
So those are just things that I see tremendous amount of value of leveraging AI as a consumer.
Yeah, to that point, you always can, in your personal preferences and in your privacy preferences, take the perspective of using your data actually to train the models, like in ChatGPT or whatever. I did that obviously because sometimes I use presentations, internal presentations. And one of the use cases that I actually normally share is the fact that previous to the board, the boards that we actually held at Kinfolks, normally I upload the board presentation and I always ask like the 4 most important points of discussion. And it's incredible because in September with our last board, the 4 were actually approached in our meeting. And I think that is a use case by itself, how you can actually partner with this kind of platforms and language models in order to strategically get additional insights to your business and to your life. So it's really a different way to work, and it's changing so many things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that is really an incredible context. So is there any platforms or innovations that you see that now are exciting you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Generative AI can help brands produce dynamic content at scale and enhance creativity while maintaining relevance. However, even though generative AI is good, but our AI output really relevant to my brand, my customer needs, my local market trends, or my brand guidelines, and my day-to-day way of working, right? The number of these, the times we've heard this from marketers this year is significant. Despite of the hype in AI, marketers face 3 main challenges. Number 1 is how you capture consumer insights. Because it's really time intensive, costly, often static, and then posing challenges for analysis and actionable planning. The second challenge is creating that personalized content strategy for different channels and audience. And it's very tedious and inefficient. And the third challenge is about producing localized, trend-aware content. It can be expensive and time-consuming. So with current AI tools falling short on personalization and brand alignment. In this challenging landscape, actually OG.ai, right? I actually personally helped launch that recently, and then it emerged as an outstanding or exciting solution to me. It empowers how marketers operate by capturing real-time consumer insights. OG transforms insights into content action plans and auto-generates high-volume, channel-specific content and campaigns personalized by local markets, all in one go. I actually personally tested that. It's just really excited about what's ahead with OG.ai. Another exciting area is predictive analytics. If you think about it, allows brands to forecast customer behavior more accurately and optimize campaigns in real time. For example, tools that use AI to predict customer churns or identify upsell opportunities can enable marketers to take proactive measures, improving customer retention and lifetime value.
Before we dive back into our conversation, we'd love to hear from you. Are you eager to highlight your marketing expertise and share your vision for the future of the industry in the age of AI? If so, we invite you to be a guest on the AI Marketing Transformation podcast. Reach out to us at info@thekeenfolks.com. We look forward to featuring the insights of marketing thought leaders like you in shaping the future in AI marketing transformation.
Yeah, that's amazing what you're saying. I think that AI started to be more a prescriptive tool, and now I think that the biggest evolution is going to be the predictive component of AI. I think that it can change so many things. So switching gears a bit to your personal perspective. So you already mentioned Copilot. What is actually your personal tech stack, the technology that you use in terms of AI? And then there is an additional question that sometimes people actually don't think in a conscient way. Do you use actually language models for repetitive tasks or for actually enhancing the things that you're already very good at?
I would say I use, well, the first question that I like to experiment all the new tools that come to market. So, Microsoft Copilot is one of them I use. I'm testing a few others. ChatGPT, obviously we all know, and there's Perplexity and a few others. And, whatever comes to, the market, I test them to see how that would play out. And then, obviously when it comes to, that's the tool, right? From the tool perspective, I realize it's not just about the tool, itself. Is about the process you go through, right? And then what your needs are. To your earlier question about, is it repeatable task? Yes, obviously you want to automate the repeatable tasks, but you also want to try some new things. For example, something really challenging, right? For me, as a small business owner, I don't have tons of time. You're probably all short-handed sometimes. You don't have the luxury to hire, gazillion people to help you to do things. And how do you really find the ways to automate as early as possible? And then making sure you do that with confidence, right? Because I don't want to, hey, I'm trying to automate this, but then, through that automation, the information is not accurate. That would really, you lose your credibility. So that's being said, you have to be very cautious about what to automate. What are things you're going to do yourself? Anything relevant to thought leadership, it's beyond me. That'd be something I would never automate. But when it comes to trying to get email organized, and then maybe, I have my content put together already, I want to come up with a headline for the content I put together. So to me, they gave me a few options that might be easier to automate than, have AI generate all the content for me. I just don't feel confident yet, but have AI help organize my existing content, I feel more confident. And then also sometimes, returning with some image or, really returning to get me some recommendation or headlines for the blog I wrote, I feel a lot more confident. I wrote a book about 3 years ago. I wish we had AI too. And
yes,
honestly, I would run much faster, right? It took me a year for the process. And I'm sure I wouldn't mind having AI as an editor, but not as a writer for me.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that balance between your personal contribution and the contribution of technology, in this case of AI, it's something that will develop with us in this moment.
Exactly.
And as better we balance that, the more meaningful output we're going to have in our day-to-day, in our expert areas. So think about the CMOs and the CXOs and all the audience that we have. What would be like the books that you would recommend for people that are starting their journey now on AI?
Well, there's so many books, but I say 3 actually came to mind when you just asked me this question. The first one is The AI Advantage, right? How to put the artificial intelligence revolution to work by Thomas Davenport. The book explores how businesses can leverage AI for competitive advantage, offering practical insights and strategies for implementing AI initiatives that drive organizational value. The second book is Business Adventures by John Brooks. It's a collection of 12 stories about companies and individuals in the business world, highlighting lessons from both successes and failures. That's one of the top recommendations by Warren Buffett, as a matter of fact. And then the third book is The Innovator's Dilemma, When New Technologies Cause Great Firms to Fail by Clayton Christensen. Yeah, it really helps understanding how established companies can be disrupted by new technologies. It really fits in the current environment really well, right? It explains how many large companies fail to adapt to breakthrough innovations. And, it's particularly relevant to the challenging entrenched, industries like automotive or aerospace.
Yeah. Well, I love his work, Clayton Christensen. And the other two, I didn't have the chance to actually read it, but I definitely will take your recommendation there.
And let me know how you like it.
I will, for sure. and thinking about like courses, if somebody wants to actually dig deeper and get a little bit more learning on the courses side, is there any course that comes to mind that you would give as a reference?
Yeah, there are many of them. I'm a little bit biased, having taken the courses with MIT Sloan School of Management, right? I've taken their cybersecurity certification course with 6 to 8 weeks work. I find it super valuable. They do have an artificial intelligence implementation for business strategy course I highly recommend. There's also a lot of free courses offered through Coursera. And there's a 6-week online course focused on organizational managerial implementation of AI technology there. And then there's also courses, really provided by IBM, Google, Microsoft, Oracle, you name them, right? All on generative AI and courses. IBM has tons of free training. If you go to their IBM community, you can find all those online. And I wouldn't recommend you spend tons of money for basic AI trainings. You should really find all the free courses. As you get deeper, then you can pay a little bit more, invest a little bit more there for paid training.
Yeah. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And finally, Helen, is there any, I know that you go to a lot of conferences, by the way. So from all the conferences that you go and that you are expert at, what are the ones that you would recommend for the audience?
Yeah, there are many others you should really go. Depends on if you're in the B2B or B2C world. The B2C world, the CEC is right around the corner, early in the first week of January in Las Vegas. And that's the one I will be going. The second one, NVIDIA GTC conference, right? It's going to take place mid-March in San Jose. And it's going to feature over 500 talks from leaders in AI and related fields. Matter of fact, I'm going to host their CTO of AI and cyber on agentic AI. You should really take a look at what's coming with them. And then the other ones, it's like Amtech AI. Early May in Cambridge, Massachusetts. They're going to focus on the latest AI innovations and applications. There are some industry-specific AI events as well. There's AI and big data, where I spoke in the past, and then General AI Summit. There's AI Infrastructure Architecture Summit. There's some regional event if you wanted to venture out to Dubai. Early February, AI Everything Global. There's also World AI Cannes festival also in mid-February in Cannes. So there are tons of conferences. I think there are also some virtual webinars you can always go to, right? Many large organizations like SAP, and then Dell, they all have their own user conferences. So it depends on where you are at. You can, certainly also check out their specific event there throughout the year. But I would say, go mingle, network with people. If you are a CXO, you should be out there and then really understand the current latest trends of technology and then really network with those who have been there, done that as well to get yourself immersed with the latest technologies.
Yeah, it's definitely the investment with best return. The investment that you do in yourself and developing your skills. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Go.
Thank you, Miguel. You spoke at a recent event in New York, right? How did that go?
Well, the event was amazing. I think that we did 3 days there, and I was able to be keynote speaker in the event. Well, it's a global marketing for CMOs event that they held both in New York and actually in England, in London, and it was amazing. I think that the most important experience that I had there was actually the fact that there is so many eagerness to actually know about AI and to discover AI applications and use cases that makes any presentation really, really alive. So there is a lot of interaction with the public, and they are really eager to understand how actually they can apply. So thank you very much as well for that, Ellen. I think that you gave really good indications on actually how can you use AI, not only from a corporate point of view, but also from a personal point of view.
Well, thank you for having me, Miguel. I look forward to seeing you again in 2025.
Oh, absolutely. So thank you, Ellen. This has been an enlightening conversation. So is there any final advice for CXOs, like looking for transforming customer experiences, something that comes to mind?
I would say patience, right? Being patient, because all this transformation is not going to happen overnight. And then, really understand the purpose of, you don't just, set up a technology over and suddenly you need to understand that why you're doing this, the purpose of the business objective, right? So, and then you also want to make sure that you're being persistent. You're going to get reluctance from some users and people, and then you have to stay the course and make things happen. So that would say I believe was the 3 Ps was audience, purpose, patience, and persistence.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Helen. So let's do a quick recap of today's insights. The first one is about data-driven personalization with privacy in mind. By balancing actually personalization with strict privacy measures like anonymization and compliance with GDPR, brands can actually increase engagement while maintaining trust. The second one is about generative AI transforming marketing strategies. Generative AI is definitely a game changer, enabling brands to scale content creation, personalize campaigns for local markets, and streamline consumer insights into actionable strategies. Tools like OG.ai exemplify actually how AI can revolutionize efficiency in marketing operations. And finally, the future of customer engagement through predictive AI. Predictive AI is definitely reshaping customer engagement by forecasting behaviors like churn or upsell opportunities in e-commerce, for example. This proactive approach allows brands to retain customers and maximize lifetime value, driving a competitive edge in the market. Thank you again, Helen, for sharing your insights and expertise with us.
Oh, thank you for having me today.
That's all for today's episode of the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and join us each 15 days for more inspiring conversations. Until then, stay curious and keep innovating.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the AI Marketing Transformation Podcast. If you are a marketing leader who wants to tap into the most recent insights and innovative strategies in marketing and AI, be sure to subscribe. We appreciate your time and look forward to having you with us on the next episode.